Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless the Quiz, where the more obscure your knowledge, the better your chances of winning. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is my fiancé, Scott. I'm from Dundee, Scott's from Dunfermline, now we live in London.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Becky. This is my friend and co-captain, Kat, and we live in South East London.
Couple number three.
I'm Armin, and this is my housemate Imogen, and we're students in Manchester.
And finally, couple number four.
I'm Emma, this is my lovely husband Howard, and we are from Knaresborough in North Yorkshire.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. Very warm welcome to Pointless. It's lovely to have you here. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. Do you know the Boffin Man? The Boffin Man? The Boffin Man? It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hey, everybody. How are you?
I'm very well. thank you.
That's nice, the Boffin Man. How lovely.
Yes.
Firstly, it's one of our contestants' birthdays today.
That's lovely,
That's
yes.
nice, isn't it? So everyone else should let them win. We'll find out who it is, I suspect, as we go along.
Yes. Now, Miriam and Shazad got through to the final last time, and I'm afraid they failed to win the jackpot, which means we are just relentlessly piling money into that thing. So today's jackpot, I apologise for this, it's just vulgar now. It's this. It starts off at £12,250. I mean, if everybody's ready, let's play Pointless. All you have to remember at all times is this. The pair with the highest score at the end of each round will be eliminated, so keep your scores low and you'll be great. Best of luck to everybody. Our first category today is celebrity births. Can you all decide in your pairs who wants to go first, who wants to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And the question concerns famous people born in 1961, Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 16 faces up on the board now. Who are these people, please?
Thank you very much indeed. So we're going to put an image up on the board. That will stay up for the whole round. We won't be changing that halfway through. 16 faces on the image, and here they are. We've got these people. That's fascinating.
What, who's 60?
Well, yeah, that they are all the same age.
Yeah?
Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us all about yourself, Scott, and any interesting facts.
Yes, I'm Scott, originally from Dunfermline, but now live in London. I'm a project manager working for an aerospace company.
Yeah, there's something you're not saying, Scott. Something you're not saying.
It's also my 25th birthday today.
It's Scott's birthday. That's what we were hankering for. There we go. Many happy returns to
Thank you very
Scott. A trophy would be a fine birthday present, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
very much so.
I think everyone's taken the hint. Good, good. There we go. Scott, look at our board of people who turned 60 in 2021. Who might they be?
It's 5 or 6 probably that I know. It's just deciding which one will have the lowest answer. And I'm going to go with Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle, Subo. Let's see how many of our 100 people spotted Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle is right. Down that goes 54. Not bad.
Yeah, a Scott for Scott the Scott there. Very well done. Scott turned 60 in 2056.
Oh, no.
That's a really long way away, doesn't it?
Wow. 2056.
We will be
86.
86 years old.
I hope we will be. I'm sure we will be.
Well, you never know.
Do you think we'll still be up here grinding out pointless shows?
That'd be nice,
No,
wouldn't it?
I'd love it if we were. Thank you very much.
There you go, that's my
Richard.
birthday present to you, Scott.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Becky, welcome back.
Thank
It's
you.
your third and final attempt at the Pointless Final. Tell us more about yourself.
I like running. I've done 2 half marathons. Wouldn't try and do a full marathon. I think that would be a bit tricky.
No, I think that'd be madness.
Yeah, it is madness. It
Yes.
is madness. And I've recently taken up yoga. I'm not so good at it just yet, but getting there.
Listen, great oaks from tiny acorns.
Yeah, it's good to learn a new
They're
skill.
Exactly right. Now then, Becky, how do you like our board of
I like it.
sexagenarians?
Yeah, pretty well. There's a couple of people on there who I'm nervous to say in case I get the wrong answer. So I'm going to go with Peter Jackson because we've recently watched Lord of the Rings. It feels like the right one to go for.
I think that does feel like the right thing. Therefore, Peter Jackson, is he up there? How many of our 100 people spotted him if he is? Absolutely right, Peter Jackson. 54 is the only score we have at the moment, and you pass it. Oh, now look at that. Look at that. 4 for Peter Jackson. Very well done.
Well played, Becky. Yeah, the director of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit films, makes cameos in them as well.
Thank you very much indeed. Imogen, welcome.
Hi.
Lovely to have you here on Point. Just tell us all about yourself.
So I'm a biology student from Manchester. I'm in my 3rd and final year now, so I'll be graduating soon, hopefully.
What plans do you have for when Manchester is back? You're going to miss Manchester.
Yeah.
That's going to be a shame.
I'm hoping to stay there, actually.
OK, good.
I want to work in healthcare, so
Right.
that's sort of where I'm aiming for.
OK, well, good luck with that, Imogen. Enjoy your last year. What are you going to go for here?
I've got a few that I know, but I think some of them might be quite high scoring. So I think I'm going to go for one which I think is a little bit risky and say Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne, says Imogen. You're getting a gentle nod from Ammon. I think a gentle nod is enough. We'll take that. Let's see if Lawrence Fishburne is right. Oh, phew. Oh, Imogen, so we toyed with you there. Lawrence Fishburne, absolutely right. That's another brilliant score. Very well done indeed. 6.
Yeah, we're often asked why we accept certain answers and not others. It's Lawrence Fishburne, but you could sort of pronounce it Fishborn. You are absolutely on the cusp of an incorrect answer there, but the right side of the cusp. So well done.
I think there are some stress points you can push a little bit.
Yeah,
and others you just
exactly. I think that would be a little bit harsh to.
I think so.
But it's close.
Yeah, there we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Emma, welcome to Point. It's lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
So I'm from Knaresborough, North Yorkshire, and I'm currently a digital content designer at York St John University. So I spend a lot of my time working with teams across the university and then working out the best way to communicate that to prospective students, current students.
Do you know, I think that's just a lovely existence. Knaresborough's a beautiful place.
It is, yeah, we're
York's
very
a
lucky.
lovely place as well. And
Yeah.
you live between the pair of them.
We do, yes.
Ah, good for you. Now, Emma, the board,
Yes.
who would you like to go for?
There's a few I'm sure of. There's some I'm less sure of. I think I'm going to go for bottom right, which I think is Fatima Whitbread.
Fatima Whitbread, says Emma. Let's see if that's right. How many of our 100 people said Fatima Whitbread? It is Fatima Whitbread. 54 is our high score, and you pass it. 4 is our low. There you are on 20. Perfect, middle ground.
Yeah, very well played. Olympic medalist, world champion, javelin thrower.
And lovely person.
And lovely person, yes.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are halfway through our round. What better excuse need we to look at our scores? 4, Becky. Very well done indeed. Becky and Kat looking strong. Imogen and Ammon, I'd say exactly the same on 6. Then up to 28, where we find Emma and Howard. Then up to 54, Scott and Sarah. A little bit ahead there. So, Sarah, I hope you've got a lovely low-scoring answer on the board behind me here. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? There we are. Howard, welcome to the show. Tell us all about yourself.
Thank you. My name's Howard. I am currently retraining to be a counsellor.
What had you been before?
I was in retail management, which hit a bit of a sticky spot in 2017.
Yeah.
So it gave me an opportunity to rethink what I wanted to do
Well,
with
good
my
for
life.
you.
So-
And this is going to be so much more nourishing. It's going to be brilliant for you, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm very
Yeah.
excited about qualifying and doing something good.
Excellent. Good for you, Howard. You are on 28 currently. 25 or less, even at this early stage of the pass, would get you through.
I know quite a few of them, so I'm toying between 2. I think I'm going to go Ian Duncan Smith,
You're going to go Ian Duncan Smith.
I think.
OK, let's find out if Ian Duncan Smith is up there on the board. Here's your red line. No. Bad luck, Howard. Not Ian Duncan Smith. That scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 128.
Yeah, sorry, Howard. I know the one you mean, but not Ian Duncan Smith, I'm afraid.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Ammon, welcome to the show. Tell us all about yourself, Ammon.
I'm a paleontology master student at the University of Manchester.
What sort of things do you get up to, Ammon?
So I sort of look at how bone remodeling has evolved through time. So looking at like injury, illness, how bones have grown, how things before mammals used to remodel their bones, how all mammals remodel their bones, how we humans remodel our bones, just kind of how we fix ourselves.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Ammon. Now, 6 is where you are. Does not matter what you score. Even 100 points would get you through to round 2. So, with that in mind...
I think it might be a high scorer, but I know it's right. I'm going to go for Peter Beardsley.
Peter Beardsley says, Ammon, no red line for you. You're already through. How many of our 100 said Peter Beardsley? Peter Beardsley, absolutely on the money. It's a good one. Down it goes to 17, takes your total up to 23.
Very well played, lovely start. Yeah, 59 caps and 9 goals for England, Peter Beardsley.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Kat, third and final
you.
show.
Thank you.
Tell us more about yourself, Kat.
Yeah, so I'm Kat, living in London. A fun fact about me is that my grandma was very interested in our genealogy, and so she did lots of research into our family history, and she believes us to be distantly related to Richard Nixon.
Do that? Oh, yeah, got it.
I get very sweaty upper lip under pressure, which he
That's more
famously
information
had.
than I was wanting. That's amazing. Yeah, well, he's looking perfectly dry for now, Kat, so
Yeah,
that's good. You're
okay,
clearly
good.
relaxed. And so you should be.
Yeah.
Because even if you get this wrong, you're through to the next round.
I'm glad that I'm instead Peter Beardsley, because I'm going to go instead for Rory Bremner.
Rory Bremner. OK, no red line for you. You're through. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Rory Bremner. Rory Bremner, absolutely right. That goes down to 9, taking your total up to 13.
Well played, Kat. Yeah, he translates operas into English now, Rory
Oh, I
Bremner.
know. He's a fabulous man.
Does all
Very-
sorts of things, doesn't he?
Highly accomplished.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be all these people.
And he is.
And
Sorry, did I
frequently
not
has
say at the
been.
beginning? These are all Rory Bremner. I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Sarah, welcome back. Tell us more about yourself, Sarah.
In my spare time, I really enjoy cooking. So I started eating plant-based a couple of years ago, and since then I've got a lot more creative with my recipes, and started a little food blog sharing my recipes. So
Very
really
good.
enjoy it.
Good for you. Sarah, you're on 54. 73 or less
Okay.
gets you into the next round. Would you like to talk through the board, Sarah?
Okay, there's a few up there that are obvious ones: Barack Obama, Ricky Gervais, George Clooney at the bottom. I think Eddie Murphy. Okay. I think I'm gonna go Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais, says Sarah. OK, here is your red line. Shall we see if we can get you below this red line with Ricky Gervais? It's right. You've done it. Down that goes to 48. Not bad at all. Takes your total up to 102.
Well played. Now, Ricky Gervais was the one I was surprised was the same age as some of the others.
Exactly. Yeah.
You think of him as younger
the same
than
age as
that.
Barack Obama.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's Hollywood money.
That's Hollywood money and a plant-based diet.
It's nice, isn't it?
That's nice.
Yeah, he's
That'll
never
do.
going to age anymore.
No,
He's got
never
so
again.
much money.
He's going to become weirdly young-looking.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas we, in a few years' time, just step in a booth for a couple of minutes, come out looking
Oh,
like
I
Scott.
can't wait. How
I can't
lovely
wait.
is that going to be?
Just can't wait.
Shall we go through this board?
Yes.
Next to Peter Beardsley, we
I
have...
think that's Alison Moyet. Lovely Alison Moyet.
It is Alison Moyet.
Such a
Very
fan
well
of
done.
hers.
And would have scored 3 points. And next to Alison Moyet, absolutely, is
Obama.
Barack Obama. Would have scored 80. And Eddie Murphy would have scored you 50 points. Next to Eddie,
Harry
you
Enfield.
wouldn't have thought that Harry Enfield and Ricky Gervais were the same age. They feel like different eras of
comedy,
If you know, or
don't
they came
Yeah.
through at different times.
Yeah.
18 points. Yeah, not Ian Duncan Smith, but
William Hague.
And William Hague would have scored you 26.
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan,
Yeah.
Anagram of Germany.
There you go. Yeah.
She would have scored 35. 7 people said that was Goldie Hawn. Next to Meg Ryan.
Is that Woody Harrelson?
It is
there?
Woody Harrelson. He would have scored 19. Now, next to Lawrence Fishburne.
This is where I slightly tripped up. I know the face very well. Can I think of who it is? No.
See, I thought it was Gillian Anderson.
Yes. I'd
It's
thought
Janet McTeer.
Janet.
She would have scored you 2 points, best answer on the board. And next to Janet McTeer
Is
George
George Clooney.
Clooney. He would have scored you 62.
Thank you very much indeed. That brings us to the end of our first round, and we have to say goodbye to our first pair. Oh, Howard and Emma, I'm so sorry. You've only just got here. You've only just retrained as a counsellor. And we've got to send you away. We'll see you next show. We'll look forward to that very much. I'm sure you'll be able to take it much further then. But Howard and Emma, thank you for playing. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. There we are, down to 3 pairs. We are now into round 2. Best of luck to everybody. The category for round 2 today is literature. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns books with in the title. There we are. Richard.
Absolutely. On each board, we're going to show you 6 books which have in the title. We'll give you the initial letters of all the other words, but what are these books, please?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our first board of 6 books with in them. The C in the H, Dr. Seuss. The S in the S, T.H. White. The C in the R, J.D. Salinger. The M in the B.S., Agatha Christie. A B in the R, V.S. Naipaul. And L in the T.O.C., Gabriel Garcia Marquez. There we are. Sarah.
There's a couple that I think I know, but I don't know if I want to risk it. Oh, I think I'm just going to have to go for the probably most obvious. So I think I'm just going to have to go for Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss.
OK, The Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss. Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Cat in the Hat. That is right, but it scores 74, which carries all kinds of risks of its own. But there we are, 74.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss says that book has a political subtext. He says it's about revolting against authority, he said, which is a positive thing, but also the Cat in the Hat clears up all the mess at the end as well. So he says, good to revolt, but then, you know, also take some responsibility afterwards, I guess.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Cat.
Yes. I am going to set myself up for a fall here and tell you that I actually did a degree in English literature, and I can only tell you one of these now. And that one is The Catcher in the Rye.
The Catcher in the Rye. Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Catcher in the Rye. The Catcher in the Rye is right. 74 is the only score we have on the board, and you go past that, 49.
Yeah, he's never allowed it, or his estate has never allowed it to be made for the screen. Catcher in the Rye.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. OK, Imogen. This board is all yours, by the way, if you wanted to take us through all of those as yet unanswered books.
Those were the only 2 that I could actually think of. I'm a bit annoyed because I've read quite a lot of Agatha Christie, so that one's really getting to me, that I don't know it. So I'm going to have to say something random, I think. I don't know. The Snail in the Snow.
Oh, chilly. The Snail in the Snow. This is the T.H. White one. OK, The Snail in the Snow. Let's see. Not The Snail in the Snow, I'm afraid. 100 points is what that scored.
That's another very good made-up one, though. I'll give you that. It's actually The Slug in the Slush. Oh, so close.
Oh, so close.
No, do you know the S in the S? If I tell you it's to do with King Arthur.
It's The Sword in the Stone.
The Sword in the Stone,
oh,
yeah.
For goodness sake. There we go.
Would have scored you 7 points. Now, this one, because I know my Agatha Christie, and I was, no, because it's clearly the murder in the something. And I was thinking, I can't think what it is. Is it the murder in the bookshop? Is it the murder? I was trying to think where the murder was.
It's the man in the brown suit.
The man in the brown suit, absolutely. It was driving me crazy. Would have scored you 5 points. A B in the R?
I am really wrestling with this one.
Well, well done if you said it at home. A Bend in the River.
Bend in the River.
Pointless answer.
Luckily,
and the bottom one?
Love in the Time of Cholera.
Love in the Time of Cholera. It's a wonderful book, and that would have scored 5 points. So some low scorers there. Very well done if you got one of those single-figure answers.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 49, the best score of the past, Cat. Very well done indeed. 74 is where we find Sarah and Scott, and then 100, I'm afraid, Imogen and Ammon. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 6 more books with in their titles on the board, and here they are. The M in the IM, Alexandre Dumas. F in the A, V.C. Andrews. L in the B, George Saunders. A W in the W, Bill Bryson. the M in the HC, Philip K. Dick, and the W in the W, Kenneth Graham. Ammon.
I think I only know one. I think I'm going to play it safe. And I'm going to go for the Wind in the Willows.
Ammon is saying Wind in the Willows. There's no red line for you as you're the high scorers. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Wind in the Willows. Goes down to 64, takes your total up to 164. You may have done enough there.
Yeah, he used to work at the Bank of England, Kenneth Graham. He was shot at 3 times during an attempted robbery, but survived.
Wow, but survived. Wow.
There's a chapter in that called The Piper at the Gates of Dawn, which Pink Floyd took for their album title.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Becky, what are you going to go for?
I think I'm going to go for Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders.
Very good indeed. Lincoln in the Bardo. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. There's no red line for you there, as you are already through. Lincoln in the Bardo. That is an excellent answer. It's a pointless answer as well. Look at that. That adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £12,500, scores you nothing, leaves your total at 49. Very well done.
Very well played, Becky. One of my favourite books, Lincoln in the Bardo. Oh, it's just amazing. He's an
do you know,
incredible
I just
writer.
remembered I left it in a hotel in York, funnily enough. Yeah. I left it in a hotel in York, half read.
Get another one.
It's very funny as well.
Oh, it's really funny. I mean,
Yeah.
I loved it.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Scott, do you want to talk us through the board?
I would love to talk you through the board, but the Wind in the Willows was all I had in the locker. So it's going to have to be a punt. And I will go for The Man in the Imperial Market.
The Man in the Imperial Market says Scott. Let's see if that's right. Let's do that for now. Here's your red line. No, not The Man in the Imperial Market.
Man in the Iron Mask.
Even as you said it, it was sounding like you might have
I know, I
got
thought
it.
you might have had it.
Oh, bad luck. I'm afraid that scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 174.
Happy birthday, Scott.
Thank you very much.
Got it wrong, and then Sarah immediately told you she knew the answer. That's The Man in the Iron Mask by Alexandre Dumas, which would have scored you 37 points. Now, how are you on any of the rest of these?
Flowers in the Attic, I can do.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
My
Flowers in the
sister
Attic.
read that. I remember.
Oh, really?
Travelling around with us, yeah.
Would have scored you 3 points. Do you know the Bill Bryson?
Walk in the Woods.
A Walk in the Woods.
Is Bill Bryson.
Would have scored you 8. And now they made this into a TV series, this Philip K. Dick one. It's The Man in the High Castle.
Ah!
Well done if you said that at home, 9 points. So again, some very low scorers there. Well done if you got one of those single-figure scores.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, at the end of our second round, the pair who we are sending home with a high score of 174, it's our birthday boys, Scott and Sarah. We'll see you again next time for your third and final attempt. Thanks very much for playing meanwhile, Scott and Sarah. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Huge congratulations, Becky and Kat, Ammon and Imogen. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £12,500. I don't think it's big enough. Luckily, we have an opportunity now to boost it. We could add as much as £500 to it now if we can find both pointless answers. Here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many European amphibian species as they could. Richard.
Yep, as always, 2 pointless answers up there, 2 fake answers as well. So amphibian or shamphibian is the question.
Amphibian or am I fibbing?
Ian.
Ian.
So there'll be someone at home called Ian. So
Yeah.
I think, am I fibbing Ian to someone at home called Ian?
Anyway, let's put up the 6 potential candidates for pointless amphibia on the board. And here they are. We've got clumsy frog, yellow-bellied toad, olm, Henson's frog, midwife toad, and edible frog. There we go.
I think edible frog is probably wrong.
Yeah, maybe it's like a Harry Potter thing. Sure.
Mate, I don't know.
I wouldn't go clumsy frog. Maybe like midwife toad because it sounds kind of fun.
Go for that.
Please, may we say midwife toad?
Midwife toad. Why, of course you can. Let's see if it's a pointless amphibian. Midwife's toad. Okay, that's a one.
Close.
One of our 100 people knew that. Ammon and Imogen, go on, let's find a pointless answer here. Come on.
I kind of want to go for Olm because it's the only one that doesn't have frog or toad in it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think that just calls to me. For literally no other reason than it calls me
I
name.
salute
happy
you.
with that.
I
Yeah.
can't fault that reasoning. I like it a lot. Olm,
Olm.
is it a pointless amphibian? It's an amphibian. There could be £250 attached to this. And there is! Very well done indeed. I can't fault your thinking there, and it proved true.
Very well done. This jackpot's going crazy.
I know.
Such a lot of money. There's one obvious red herring there, which is Henson's frog. Henson,
Yeah,
Jim
of
Henson,
course,
of course,
Jim
who created Kermit and voiced him and operated him and so on. Of the others, edible frog unbelievably scores a point. So yeah, it's a real thing, the edible frog. So of those other two, the clumsy frog and the yellow-bellied toad, one of those is pointless and one of those is incorrect.
I think, just because it's so ridiculous,
Yes.
clumsy frog is pointless.
I think that's the pointless one. I think yellow-bellied
Yeah, I
toad we've
think
made up with
so.
some clever thing we've done.
Yellow-bellied toad, yellow-bellied... Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
let's take a look. Is clumsy frog the other pointless answer?
Oh,
It's
no, it's
not,
not.
I'm afraid. There's an agile frog, but not a clumsy frog. So yellow-bellied toad and Olm were the pointless answers. Well done if you got both of those.
Thank you very much indeed. Richard, well done. You managed to find a pointless answer, which means we're adding yet further money to the jackpot. Another £250, taking the total up to £12,750. But who will be playing for it? Let's find out in the head-to-head. Now, the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that massive jackpot. You are now allowed to confer before you give your answers. Very, very best of luck to both pairs. Our first question is all about animated characters close up, Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you some pictures now of animated characters, but we've zoomed in on particular details of them. We'll give you their initials as well. But who are these characters, please?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 animated characters in close up, and here they come. We've got A, G. Gosh, that is close up. B, S. C, SW. D, PP. And E, HK. There we are. 5 animated characters in extreme close-up. Becky and Kat, you're our golden couple, so you get to go first. Feel free to confer.
Thank you. So I think we know all of them. Which one do you want to go for?
So yeah, I don't know which one would be lowest.
Maybe C.
Do you think? Yeah. let's
I
just go
think
for that.
C. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Can we please say C is Snow White?
C, Snow White. Say Becky and Kat. Right. Ammon and Imogen, talk us through the rest of that board, if you can.
Yeah, I think we've got all of them as well.
A is Gromit.
B is Shrek,
D is Peppa Pig.
and E is Hello Kitty.
Gromit?
Oh, I don't think it'll be that low.
I think Peppa Pig's pretty...
Yeah,
Hello Kitty's known for that bow.
yeah.
And Shrek, I think, is known for the ears. I think I'm going to have to go Gromit.
We'll go Gromit then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to go Gromit.
Yeah, A Gromit.
You're going to go Gromit. So we've got Snow White versus Gromit. Becky and Kat went for Snow White. Let's see how many of our 100 said that for C. Snow White is right. 42 for Snow White. Yeah, Imogen and Ammon. You have gone for A, and you're saying Gromit. Let's see how many of our 100 said Gromit. Gromit is right. Where is that going to end up in relation to 42? There we are, 50 for Gromit, and it means, Becky and Kat, well done. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, it was interesting, that, wasn't it? They were all fairly gettable, so it was really a game of what's the most obscure here, and the best 2 possible answers you could have given. So Shrek would have scored you 82. Peppa Pig would have scored you 65. And the next best answer on the board would have been Hello Kitty, which would have scored 53.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, here comes your second question. Ammon and Imogen, you get to answer it first, but you have to win this one to stay in the game, so best of luck. Our second question today is all about Numbers in history, Richard.
Yeah, 5 clues now to historical facts, and all the answers are numbers.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal the 5 clues. Here they come. Number of English kings named Henry. Number in the theses in the work by Martin Luther, supposedly nailed to the door of a church in Wittenberg. Number of the Apollo mission that landed Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the moon in 1969. Number of US presidents surnamed Bush. And number of colonies that declared independence from Britain in 1776 and became the US. There we are. Ammon and Imogen will go first.
We're going to go for the number of colonies that declared independence as 13.
13 colonies, say Ammon and Imogen. Right, Becky and Kat. Do you want to talk us through the rest of that board?
My guess for the top one would just be 8, but that's not what we're going to say, don't
No,
think.
not yet.
I don't know what the one beneath that is. We think it's Apollo 11, and then the number of presidents surnamed Bush. Obviously, there's Bush Sr. and Bush Jr., so I'm imagining that's 2. Maybe there's a sneaky one that I don't know about. Which answer do you want to go for?
Shall we go with the English kings named Henry
OK.
being 8?
OK, 8 Henrys. Right,
Thank
so we have 13 colonies and 8 Henrys. Ammon and Imogen have gone for 13 colonies that became the US. Let's see how many of our 100 got that. $13 ends up on 13. There we are. Very well done indeed. That's a lovely low score. Becky and Kat, meanwhile, have gone for 8 English kings named Henry. How many of our 100 said that? Yeah, there we are. 65 for that. Well done, Ammon and Imogen, back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-1.
Well done, everybody. 29 people said numbers of 7 or less for that Henry thing, which would be
Really?
news to the most famous king of all time, Henry VIII, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's take a look at the rest of these. You were absolutely right about the Apollo mission. Would have been a better score, wouldn't have beaten 13. It was Apollo 11 and would have scored you 32. You're right about the president's name, Bush, as well. It's 2. It's a very big score. Would have scored you 80. The only answer that would have beaten the colonies was this one, the Martin Luther one.
I've got 2 numbers in my head. It's
Oh,
either
okay.
48 or 95.
Oh, it's 95.
Oh, yeah.
Would have scored 1 point as well. Very well done if you said that at home.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, here comes your 3rd question. This is the decider. Whoever wins this goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot of £12,750. There we are. I just want to remind you what's at stake here. Our 3rd question is all about romantic gestures. Richard.
Yeah, 5 clues to events and gestures that were motivated by romance one way or another. Whichever team gives us the lowest scoring answer is going through to play for that jackpot. It's exciting.
There we are.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 clues to romantic gestures, and here they are. We've got Welsh actor who spent over $1 million on a diamond for Elizabeth Taylor in 1969. British athlete who signalled ILY to his girlfriend after winning a race at the 1980 Moscow Olympics. Monument built by Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his favourite wife, situated in Agra, India. Author of Sonnets from the Portuguese, written during her courtship with her future husband, Robert. And the world-famous stone circle on Salisbury Plain that was bought by Cecil Chubb in 1915, apparently as a present for his wife, Mary. There we are. Becky and Kat will go first.
I think we're going to go for the top one, which is Richard Burton.
Richard Burton, say Becky and Kat. Now, Ammon and Imogen, can you talk us through that board?
The monument is the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, and I think the bottom one, I imagine, is Stonehenge.
Yeah. I think Taj Mahal and Stonehenge are both
gonna
going to
be
be
higher,
higher than
yeah.
Richard.
Like Sebastian Coe or something. Was he around then, or was that later?
But does that seem like a Sebastian Coe thing
I
to
don't
do?
know, maybe not.
I think. Do you think we should discuss Stonehenge?
Yeah. should we
Yeah.
just go- okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with the bottom one and say Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. OK, so we have Richard Burton versus Stonehenge. Let's find out which of those scores the least. Becky and Kat have gone for Richard Burton, who spent over $1 million on a diamond. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Richard Burton, absolutely right. That goes down to 55. Meanwhile, Ammon and Imogen have gone for Stonehenge, the world-famous stone circle on Salisbury Plain. How many of our 100 said that? It's right. And it takes you through. Look at that, down to 52. And that means, Ammon and Imogen, after 3 questions, you are through to the final 2-1.
Very well played. That was super close, wasn't it? Funnily enough, if you said Taj Mahal, that also would have seen you through. Scores fewer than Richard Burton. Taj Mahal would have scored 45. If you had taken the risk and gone for Seb Coe, you would have been knocked out because it was Steve Ovett. Yeah. You would have scored 9 points. And the author of those sonnets?
I'm tempted to say Elizabeth Barrett Browning.
Because of Robert Browning?
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Well done. Best answer up there as well. Would have scored 4 points.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head are Becky and Kat. Oh, no, and this is where we say goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, it was teeing up so sweetly for you to go through to the final on your third show.
Ourselves.
I'm sorry this is where we have to say goodbye, but thank you so much for coming to play. It's been great having you here.
Thank you.
Becky and Kat. But for Ammon and Imogen, it is now time for the Pointless Final. Congratulations, Ammon and Imogen. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win the Pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £12,750. Wow, it's been a long time since we've had a jackpot this big. All you have to do to win it is find a pointless answer. What do you want to see come up in this last round?
Well, I think it'd be suited if, like, our degree subjects came up. So if biology came up for me, that'd probably be quite good.
If dinosaurs came up, I hope it should, I should do all right.
Oh, well, that would be fun. You never know. 4 things will appear on the board behind me. Let's just hope one of them corresponds with something you're happy with. Let's see. We've got Directing Richards, 2020 Grand Slam tennis, Stop, Look and Listen in the UK charts, and the UK compared to other countries. What do we think?
Reckon the music?
Yeah, music would be good, wouldn't
I think
it?
music's probably best for us.
I'd say the bottom one will probably suit because I'm okay with geography.
The Grand Slams in 2020.
I don't think I know that much recent
Yeah,
tennis.
I only watched a couple. I watched 2 out of the 3 because Wimbledon didn't happen. But I think music is. I think go for
Yeah, I
Stop, Look
think,
and
yeah.
Listen in the charts. Yeah.
OK, we're going to go for Stop, Look and Listen in the UK charts.
OK, very, very best of luck. It's such a lovely jackpot. It'd be great to win it. We're looking for any act who've had a UK top 40 single, please, up to the beginning of November 2020, which has the word stop in the title, which has the word look in the title, or which has the word listen in the title. It has to be those exact words, not looking or stopping or anything like that. Very, very best of luck from all of us.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot of £12,750 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
I think Jamelia had a cover of Stop,
Yeah.
so I think I'm going to put that on.
Yeah, I think that's good. Is it S Club 7? Don't stop.
Yeah, Don't Stop Moving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
haven't
then
wanted to stop.
Listen.
Listen. Oh.
Was there an X Factor winning song which had Listen? That was called Listen.
I don't know. I don't really watch
Look.
Are
Stop.
there any more stops? Don't stop.
Don't Stop.
Don't Stop.
Don't Stop
I can't-
Believing.
oh, I can't
Journey.
stop
Or
believing.
Gleecast.
Oh,
we
yeah,
go
'cause that was
Gleecast?
high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should we go Gleecast, we go Jamelia, and we go S Club 7?
Yeah. All for stop.
All
Yeah.
for Stop. Yeah.
10 seconds
Yeah,
left.
I think.
Quick, anything you can think of last second? No, I think we're going to go for them 3, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're happy with.
OK, there we are. That's your time up. Sounds like you've got your 3 answers. What are you going to give me?
We're going to go All for Stop. We're going to give Jamelia.
Jamelia,
Glee cast
Gleecast,
from the TV show, and then
S Club 7.
S Club 7.
Yeah.
Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Jamelia.
Yeah,
Jamelia will put last. Least likely to be pointless?
S Club.
S Club 7,
yeah.
and then Gleecast goes in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have got S Club 7, Gleecast, Jamelia. 3 good answers on the board there. one of these might win that jackpot for you. It's a huge jackpot, £12,750. I mean, what would that mean if you were to win that, Ammon?
I want to go traveling. I've been to Europe quite a lot, and I've been to the Americas, but I've never really been to Asia. So I think I kind of want to go around, you know, maybe Japan, maybe Thailand, places like that.
Imogen, how about you?
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to New Zealand, so it'd be great to have money towards that, and of course, like, just towards a house as well.
Yeah, well,
when
that'd be
I
nice.
purchase one.
It'd be a lovely thing to be able to do. OK, let's just hope one of these answers can win that jackpot for you. Plenty of good answers in there, I'm sure. Can one of these ones be? S Club 7 is your first answer. We're looking in all three cases for songs with stop, UK top 40 hits with stop in their title. If S Club 7 is pointless, £12,750 is yours. S Club 7 is right. If this goes all the way down to 0, you leave here with £12,750. Down we go through the teens. In single figures, still going down with S Club 7, still going to 2. OK, let's move on to your next answer, Glee Cast. Now, this one came to you quite near the end of your minute. Let's find out. We're looking at Don't Stop Believing. Let's see if Glee Cast might be pointless for £12,750. Glee Cast is right. Well, S Club 7 took us all the way down to 2. Glee Cast takes us down through the 20s into the teens. Still going down, single figures, still going down, passing 2. You've done it! You've done it! Look at that! Very well done indeed. That's an enormous jackpot. The biggest we've had for a very long time. And Glee Cast was a pointless answer, so that means you are taking home today's jackpot of £12,750. Look at that.
What a performance. Very, very well played. If we'd gone on to Jamelia, she scored 2 points. So Glee Cast were the ones who won it. Funnily enough, Don't Stop Believing, Journey, who had the original hit, also was a pointless answer, amazingly. I think they were both in the top 10 at the same time. Let's take a look at the different pointless answers. I'm sorry we can't give you that much money at home. Can't give you £12,750, but well done if you got one of these. So for Stop, there is Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Justin Timberlake, Can't Stop the Feeling. Ray Charles, I Can't Stop Loving You. Nothing's Going to Stop Us Now, Starship. Let's take a look at Look, shall we? Barbara Streisand, M People, Don't Look Any Further. Stop, Look, Listen by Marvin Gaye meant he was a pointless answer in all three categories. And the Libertines, Don't Look Back Into the Sun. And Listen, Buddy Holly, Eurythmics, Sonia, the Hollies are very well done if you've got one of those at home.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. And thanks once again to our winning players, Ammon and Imogen, who take away today's jackpot of £12,750. Well done. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.